Call to improve policing. School staff walk for hours to deliver exam papers. And Sparrows top division after unbeaten first round.
This is National MTV News with Helen Seah.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Sunday's news. Northern Governor Gary Juffa has backed calls to allow outside intervention to improve policing in the country. Speaking recently, Governor Juffa said crime-related incidents are happening often and may scare development agendas of the government. He appealed for quicker intervention to boost police capacity and maintain order in communities.
The outspoken governor said in the past year, crime has increased in almost every major center of the country. He says something must be done. Governor Juffa said it's about time help is sought from development partners to improve policing in the country.
Our police force needs help. Right now, we have not improved on the statistics. The ratio recommended by the United Nations is 1 policeman to 400 citizens. In Papua New Guinea, it is still 1 policeman to 1,200 citizens. And it can be seen throughout the whole country. There is lawlessness everywhere. Everywhere. And it is affecting all facets of development.
Speaking recently, Assistant Police Commissioner Donald Yambasombi also confirmed the climbing stats of crimes committed in urban areas. He says a major factor is urban drift, where people look for better services and opportunities, however tend to crime for a living.
Long towns na cities may finding law and order issues may grow. Why may grow? Because services only no na finding in silo districts, only running go in silo towns na cities. Na time only go inside, heavy emisa come up.
The Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary is always faced with a mammoth task to carry out its duty. Reforms and intervention have all come short. This has been fueled by untimely budget allocation, poor logistic support and other legacy issues within the force. In his recent visit to Alatau, the police commissioner says issues of police have been overlooked or not given enough attention.
Not a unique problem to the province. We have many other provinces around the country that are currently experiencing spikes in crime because of the lack of policing numbers in those provinces. So,
for the Northern Governor, criminal elements remain a threat to foreign business investment, delivery of basic government services and growth of the country. He hopes for swift intervention to improve policing.
We need international intervention. We need to rebuild our police force. Security is the #1 priority of this country. When there is security, there can be economic development and progress. Without security, without law and order, there will be very minimal progress.
Jack Lapava Jr., National MTV News.
Northern Governor Gary Juffa wants tougher penalties to be applied to those executing barbaric killings in the country. Juffa says such acts send a wrong signal to the outside world and may affect foreign investment and trade opportunities. Governor Juffa said if laws apply to severe killings and sorcery-related torture will stop.
We cannot be said to be a progressive developing country if this is continuing to take place. In fact, we are regressing as a nation. We are going back to the dark ages. Medieval England was like this. Well, we are moving in that direction. This does not happen in any other Pacific nation. This is unheard of in any other country, in fact. Probably parts of war-torn Africa, maybe. But in Papua New Guinea, it's almost a daily occurrence. We need to have laws so that those persons in the community who are claiming to be glassmen and experts in identifying sorcerers, these persons need to be targeted for the criminals that they are, prosecuted and locked up so that they are not perpetrating this type of crimes against innocent persons, most of whom are women, by the way.
The nationwide consultation on the inquiry to declare PNG as a Christian country has ended in West New Britain Province. CLRC Chairman Kevin Isifu said despite time limitations and budget constraints, they were able to gauge the views of key segments of the society. He said the Commission also took note of concerns and criticisms from the educated population and proponents of other religions. This month, the CLRC Commission will produce the draft final reports with key recommendations taking into account the implication on democracy, human rights, PNG customs and traditions, and Christianity itself. The consultations began on the 2nd of May 2021. St. Barbara Simberi Operations has completed its community engagement efforts for advancement of its sulphide project. The last meeting was attended by executives of the Big Tabar Landowner Association and the local level government Ward 5 member. Sentiments for the mine life extension remain positive with all 12 key community stakeholder groups. These include business development, enterprise creation and employment opportunities for the local people. Simberi Mine's sulphide project is an extension of existing operations on mining lease 136, utilizing existing infrastructure together with a new flotation plant to process sulphide ore. St. Barbara is investing up to $170 million to establish the additional processing facilities. The PNG Indonesia border is relatively safe and no threats have been reported, says PNG Defence Force Commander Brigadier General Gilbert Toropo, following a video that went viral on social media portraying a military group. Commander Toropo says those in the video have been identified and the matter will be investigated. He maintained that PNG's good relationship with the Indonesian government will not be derailed by the video.
The video was released mid last month. According to the PNG Defence Force commander, the small village has been identified. He also gave other details and warned those supporting this move.
We have confirmed where this training has been going on. We have all of our people, the intelligence, National Intelligence Organization, PNG Defence Force intelligence, our people working together with the police to arrest those perpetrators.
The video was shot in a village in the East Sepik province. Armed without mask, the leader spoke in Pidgin, stating why the group intends to fight and support West Papuans.
So any individual or group that conduct activities is an individual responsibility. It does not represent the PNG government or the rest of the PNG population, and we maintain that, and we have respective law enforcement agency to deal with it, and I think that's been dealt with it.
Meanwhile, the PNG Defence Force commander maintained that constant border patrol along the PNG Indo border has remained with no serious threat or incidents. He says this is also part of a reviewed policy to protect border security and minimize threats.
The border is peaceful, calm. Our people, especially PNG community, are going about their normal business. PNG Defence Force continue to maintain presence along the border. There's no indication that that video presented any threat or of any concern to our people living along the border.
Jack Lapava Jr., National EMTV News.
8 teachers, including the school principal of Sacred Heart Secondary School in Tapini, set out on a journey from Goilala to Port Moresby on foot. They walked all the way to deliver the Grade 10 written expression examination papers to Measurement Services Division, or MSD, for marking. The teachers left Tapini station at 1 a.m. on Tuesday last week and arrived in the capital city, Port Moresby, on Wednesday afternoon. The wax papers were handed in to the MSD on Thursday morning. Sacred Heart Secondary School Tapini remains one of the best performing schools in Central Province and the country as a whole. Minister for Agriculture John Simon on Saturday ended a 3-day visit to Milne Bay Province. The visit was to meet and hear concerns and challenges of village farmers and agriculture SME owners.
He is, unlike any agriculture minister, passionately pushing for more investment in the sector. Agriculture Minister John Simon leaves the comforts of his office and goes rural, spending most of his time to meet the people he says he represents, the village farmers. This time he was in Milimbe province. He was greeted with a warm welcome and headed straight to work, visiting Oil Palm Industries Corporation, where a group of eager village farmers waited to meet with him. An opportunity for the village people to directly discuss their challenges.
The pricing formula is to our point of view is not of our favor. With a 43-57 ratio, we find out that after deduction, we only end up with 30% of what we are supposed to get.
Yeah, this other years we have tools on DNOW. When we come, we can get tools and then we will repay them gradually from our monthly pay. Now there's no DNOW tools. You have to get money to get them from the milling company. And the milling company, their stores are so expensive. I don't know where they order their tools from.
Roads will be built by the Milimbe estate and it will be spoiled again, rainy seasons. So we need another machine that can come and always maintain the road.
My visit to Milimbe actually is not only to talk to bureaucrats and the leaders, is to listen to the farmers. What your problems are. Only then I can, as the minister that represents you, I can plan for you and I can talk for you.
Among many concerns is the cost of a fertilizer for the oil palm.
I have problem with my fertilizers payment. The fertilizers are very expensive and they get deductions from our little pay that we have.
Member for Alotau, Charles Abel, explains that the district has set aside 100,000 kina to help subsidize the cost of fertilizer. The minister was impressed with the district's support, pledging another 100,000 kina.
And I have given some funding to OPIC. So that's the reason why I'm here to at least check on what they did with the funding that I gave. Have they really spent the money properly or spending money on buy more allowance, roll the solo? Sit down in the office the solo. They've spent that money correctly to fix roads for you, to help you with a bit of fertilizer.
The delegation, including the Alotau MP, then proceeded on to Naura village. At Naura, the local church is taking the lead in engaging people in agricultural projects. They welcome the delegation's visit, highlighting the fact that it is important to meet partners in development and understand, forge and strengthen a relationship that will benefit the people.
Naura, which is a very big ward. I think it's the second or third biggest ward in terms of population in Alotau district. And Alotau district, of course, is 7 local level governments, 157 wards. And it's the mainland of Milimbe. So we have very strong agriculture links here.
Our priority is one that we are focusing currently right now is the poultry project, which is including the layer. And also we have one cocoa development project here also.
So when I go back, as the member said, and when we talk about funding, at least I know what the people of this LLG, of this ward, of this district, what their needs are.
I hope that this trend will continue, that people up at the top level will come down to the level of those in the community so that there is going to be an understanding.
While they have their grievances and challenges, many villagers were grateful that the minister personally visited them to get first-hand information. The minister did similar visits to Laimodo village in the Suau LLG of Alotau district on Friday and to Punipuni on Saturday. Shaman Poreambeb, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues with this week's A Closer Look after the break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. With the national general elections right around the corner, the recent Moresby Northwest by-elections has proven the inadequacy in Papua New Guinea's voting system. Will the government be looking to make collaborative efforts between its departments to improve the system's failure for the upcoming national elections? Or is our country heading towards a less democratic state? This report from Lilian Soperakenea.
This week, eligible voters in Port Moresby Northwest were hit with the stark reality of an electoral system that failed them yet again. Many who turned up at polling booths were told that their names could not be found on the common roll. But the complicity of polling officials, the government workers tasked to ensure free and fair elections, was even more shocking for genuine voters. At some polling locations, officials encourage constituents to vote using another name, or in many instances, the names of voters who had already passed away.
We asked the Electoral Commission officials there, the one that I spoke to, I asked her why my name wasn't on the common roll, and she just said, oh, it's okay, you can use another name to vote, which I found to be, it was wrong.
Just after polling this week, we spoke to Filma Timia, a resident of North Waigani, for over 20 years. She registered to vote before the 2017 election, only to be told that her name was not on the common roll. When she tried again to vote at a Northwest polling booth, she got the same answer. The roll still had not been updated. Polling officials said she could vote using someone else's name. She refused.
So I asked them why I wasn't on the common roll, and she told me, or maybe because you recently moved here. And I explained that no, I've been living here I was born here and I've been living here since I was born. I was raised here, so I said that can't be the case. And she said, oh, it's okay, then you can just use another name to vote, which I didn't want to, and I just left.
The frustration has been evident this week. On social media, prominent Papua New Guineans who had no problems voting in previous elections found that the irregularities seen in this by-election were by far the most disturbing. Dr. Lawrence Sauce, a senior lecturer on public policy at the University of Papua New Guinea, has researched and written about voter behavior and elections over 20 years. This week, was himself a victim of the Electoral Commission's incompetence.
I thought at that time that some parts of it would have been improved and that the government and the Electoral Commission had 5 years lead time to make improvements. But nothing happened. So to me it was really, really disappointing. And therefore a great concern for me, because the Port Moresby Northwest by-election to me is a precursor of the 2022. So if we don't fix, elections, in this case it would be Northwest, then we are in for a real bad time or bad elections in 2022.
House Blomilo 4 mile, yeah. We go down to Rain Tree Settlement, yeah, Tamblo La House, yeah, non na painim name Blomilo, Common Row, Lodisla Hub, so we go to Garden Hills. So painim name Blomilo Garden Hills na mi vote. But lo Friday, long this la by-election vote, meeting was in by-election by easy, because got plenty walk long Electoral Commission. And by me, not hard works today. So me walking walk me lao signa. Something was 2:30 about there. Me go to Garden Hills long. Me go come up to Garden Hills, must 2:45 about there, close to 3 o'clock yet. And or security guards look out in gate start now. Talk. Hey, no right there. Policeman carry him. Ballot boxes. He go please. You late yeah. So me driving go to main campus. Now me line up long. drill hole polling station along main campus here. And me play come now na. Me close to long also front long line me play stand up long end lo vote na voting paper I finish. Looking also all in a walk long check him name long common roll to mass.
People who went to vote also reported instances where supporters paid voters. Several kilometers away from one polling station, police arrested a group of men suspected of trying to buy votes. One of those arrested was carrying 3,000 kina on him.
Okay, man only money lo video ya you look sa lang ma.
Yes, me look sa welem.
Okay, you sorry.
Also me no look sa welem, also me name stop after 2 days no got. Mr. Welem lo now this la data sol. Money ne.
Okay,
money name ka want this la bus 16. Come now, me plol boys me plol go busy wasi car lo lom da line ya kawasi. So money me plol boys kama wasi car so. This la bus come now boys crew ya man holy money sing out. Boys, come collab, all cook time election you me go.
Many Port Moresby Northwest residents say they are concerned that the by-election polling turned out this way. There's a great deal of uncertainty over what might happen after the results are declared. In light of all that has happened, the winner might end up fighting election petitions in court over the next 12 months.
The morning at 2 a.m. We have 4 suspects locked up in a whole police station. We have the returning officer here. We have the witnesses here. So any candidate or scrutineers you stop long up here, we want you to make your ways.
Problems when it comes to actual voting and now the counting. I think this has happened previously and we've not learned from it. We've not corrected our mistakes in terms of how the counting is conducted, how polling was conducted. There's a lot of allegations about voter fraud and double voting, names not appearing in the common roll. People who voted in 2017 couldn't find their name in this in the common roll this time, although the Electoral Commission said that they were going to use the same common roll from 2017. So there's a lot that needs to be fixed before 2022.
Well, I haven't thought about that, but if I win and we end up in court, it depends on the petition. It depends on the petition, So I'm not familiar with the process, but I don't know. But obviously, it will be the candidates who lose, and if they put up a petition, and the only question is how do you change the X's in those boxes?
For the past 20 years, the quality of elections, the backbone of the Westminster system of democracy we have, has steadily declined. One of the primary reasons is that the Electoral Commission has not received adequate funding support for its operations. According to the Commission's estimates in 2016, they needed about 112 million kina for the Common Roll updates alone. The limited funding affected roll preparations in 2017.
Actual submission was 180.3 million kina. The actual estimate for the budget preparation 2016.
Apart from the obvious funding difficulties, there have been numerous allegations of corruption within the Electoral Commission itself. The impact it has had on the whole democratic process has been wide-ranging. In April, Don Pole was declared winner in a court-ordered election recount of the Kandep open seat of Enga province. The process, riddled with irregularities and questionable conduct by election officers, was challenged in court.
In an election petition, the delay that has been caused
not only in the candidate open election petition, but also in other petitions filed by petitioners in the Court of Disputed Returns, has cost a lot of resources on the petitioners, on the respondents, and the people of Papua New Guinea at large. The costs have been exorbitant and unnecessary. The delay in any election petition or even any case has been costing the economy unnecessarily unjustified cost that individuals had to bear, and that has affected the country's economy at large.
What stands out now from the Port Moresby Northwest by-election is the need for government organizations like the National Statistics Office, the NID program, and the Electoral Commission to collaborate and resolve the problems we continue to face. It's a collaboration that has not yet happened since the NID program began.
Jim government law, straight him NID card law, or the man is the country. Now me think, you don't have hard work to us. Only work him hard work. This NID system will start him. How much years ago finish? 4 years, 4 or 5 years ago finish? And only spend him hundreds of millions. Goodness gracious, hundreds of millions now. Only register him, that's all 10% or something long. All adult line loan, can't really blame me.
Get their acts together. It's deplorable, it's inexcusable for the people of this country to expect a system that allows the election of their leaders in a more transparent, in a manner that has integrity, in a manner that would allow competent leaders to be elected into parliament, not on a system that is fraudulent. But we're allowing a fraud system to exist for a long time.
Chukai Sports is next. All the details after the break.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. Digital Cup defending champions Croton Hela Wigmen secured a single-point victory over their opponents, the Wamga Mount Hagen Eagles, 11-10. The round 2 clash took place at the National Football Stadium in Port Moresby. The scrappy win for the Wigmen capped off the match, which saw both sides struggle to retain possession. Wigmen claimed victory in the final 10 minutes of the match.
Defending champions Hela Wigmen held on to win by a single point, 11 points to 10, against the WAMP NGA Mount Hagen Eagles in round 2 of the Digital Cup. The Wigmen were first to cross the line after spreading the ball through their attacking play, eventually finding centre Junior Igila, who scored after 5 minutes. The Eagles hit back through a quick tap taken by Benji Ben, who caught the Wigmen's defense napping. Ben raced away before offloading to 5'8" Paul Nelson Jr. to score. Another line break for the Eagles resulted in a try, extending their lead 10 points to 4 going into the halftime break. The second half was plagued with handling errors by both teams. As a result, their attacking opportunities failed to produce any points. It wasn't until the 76th minute when a play on the short side allowed Atua Nogoya to score for the Wigmen. The try tied the scores at 10-all with 10 minutes left on the clock. Victory for the Wigmen was secured when 5'8" Alan Simbiri kicked the field goal with 4 minutes left on the clock to secure a scrappy win for the reigning premiers, 11 points to 10. Wigmen coach Charlie Wabo stated that the side had a lot of improvements to make, pointing out certain areas of the team's performance that they will work on in training.
Play their role, play their parts, and one individual play parts, and then team gonna success. But everyone was let him down team, so that's why we struggle in first half and second half. Yeah, so we need to go through ups and downs and then pick up, learn from that. Yeah, so it's a good challenge again. Come give me play, and then Mibla looks how I want him up, to polish it up and work from that. And, yeah.
Haxi Lovai, Chukai Sports.
The construction of the Kavieng Multi-Sporting Stadium is progressing well. It will have a seating capacity of 4,000 people. It's envisioned that the stadium will play host to both local and national sporting events once complete. The stadium is being constructed by the China Railway Construction Group at a cost of 9 million kina. The new stadium is 70% complete and will be officially opened on the 16th of September this year during the country's 46th independence anniversary. The EMTV netball tournament, which kicked off yesterday, completed its round games. After the completion of the round games, the CC Sparrows from Port Moresby have remained unbeaten in the women's division, claiming the top spot in their division.
A handful number of clubs, including Veupunama and Sparrows from the Port Moresby Netball Association, are currently taking part in the EMTV netball tournament. With almost 2 years without the netball season in POM due to the COVID-19 pandemic, for Sparrows, getting back in the court is a relief to them.
For me personally, I think this is a really good tournament, and it's good to see everyone coming and playing the sport of netball. To be honest, it was a bit of struggle. I think the last 2 years, no sport, we've lost contact of playing netball, and we've put on weight, as you can see. But it's so good to get back and still know that you still have it. It's just a little fine tune on those little things that you need to better on. So yeah, it's good to be back on the court.
The Sparrows took on the Vekwala Alukuni in the last match of the round games. The team led by Captain Nerita Adula gave no chance to the locally talented girls from Ula, courtesy of Sparrows shooter. With a strong defense by the Port Moresby ladies, full-time score Sparrows 20, Alukuni 5. The undefeated Sparrows, who are at the top of the table in the women's division, are looking good for the finals playoff.
We're here to give a good game and have fun most of all, and yeah, it's good to come out like this and be together again as a family, because that's what we always do every Saturdays of our life, but we haven't done that for the past 2 years, so it's good to be together again and come out and do what we love to do, which is netball. And so far, yeah, my team and I have been doing good. We've won all our 4 games, so we're happy and we're done for the day now.
Suli Trukai Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The weather details coming up next.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoniPlus. With you always.
A look at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. In the southern region, mostly fine with chances of light evening showers and drizzles in Port Moresby. Mostly fine weather in Kerma, partly cloudy with a shower or 2 in Daru and Alotau, and mostly fine though partly cloudy in Popondetta. In the Momase region, mostly fine with chances of brief showers in Ley. Mostly fine though partly cloudy in Medang, partly cloudy with chances of a shower or 2 in Wewak and Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands region, mostly fine though partly cloudy in Lorengau, partly cloudy weather with a shower or 2 in Kavieng, and mostly fine weather in Kokopo, Rabaul, Kimbe and Buka. And in the Highlands region, partly cloudy with a few showers in Mount Hagen, Mendi and Wabeg, and partly cloudy with only brief showers in Goroka and Kondiawa.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoniPlus. With you always.
And that's the news, sport and weather for today, Sunday the 13th of June 2021. From all of us here at EMTV, have a safe working week, pleasant viewing and good night.